Und wir sind jetzt als das verbrannte Frenzel. Als das verbrannte Frenzel hat nicht geholfen, fleckt man gehen zu Reb Itchen. Soll absprechen die Größe Enora. If a burnt frond didn't help, then they would go to Itche. He would uh, say an incantation to remove a big evil eye. Is uitgekommen azoi. Es ist ausgekommen azoi, als Reb Itche hat gedarft absprechen die Enoris, wo sein eigen Weib hat gegeben. So it turned out then that Reb Itche had to get rid of the evil eyes that his own wife had cast. Die Alte fleckt brennen wie Feuer, wenn die Weiber flecken kommen zu ihrem Mann absprechen in Ores. The old woman, would burn like fire when women would come to her husband in order to get rid of evil eyes. Es ist gewen angenommen, als Reb Itche genitzt noch absprechen a Bezeug, ist es a Simen, als es ist Tage gewen in eine Ore, nicht keine andere Krankheit. And if it turned out, if it was accepted that Reb Itche was able to actually get rid of the Beis Oig, the evil eye, that was a sign that it in fact had been an evil eye, and it wasn't any other sort of illness. Und Reb Itche fleckt ständig genitzen in Azafal. And Reb Itche would always succeed in such a matter. Sarah die Scheuchete, was hat von ihrem Mann gehalten a Welt und gekochen unter seine Fies, hat geteinet, als zerreißt sich, nebech, das Maul von Genitzen. Sarah, his wife, who considered, who thought very highly of her husband and would even creep under his feet. She would complain that he is nebech, ripping out his mouth from this genitzen. From now, I've been translating genitzen as succeed, but I'm not sure that's really what it should be.
Could it be from like nutzen, from using it, the mouth? He's using it so much to water.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah,
Genitzen is a nutzen, you know.
I think it comes from nutzen. Yeah, from using his mouth so much. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
I found it as profiting.
That's genissen, and it could be profiting. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, genissen, genossen. Yeah. So I'm not sure. Geht's zu andere, hat sie sich gebesert. Ist nicht einer in Stettel. You folk, go to someone else. She would get angry. He's not the only one in the city, in the town. Aber die Weiber haben nicht gewollt gehen zu keinen anderen. The women didn't want to go to anyone else. Reb Itche vielleicht keinem nicht absorgen. Reb Itche would never refuse anyone. Hat sich gewaschen die Hände, angerufen dabei die fantastischste Namen von Malachim, gute und schlechte. He would wash his hands and he would call by name the most fantastic of the, by the most fantastic names, the angels, both good and bad. Gesagt hat lang und ernst, speiendig dabei oft. He would recite long and earnestly, spitting, meanwhile, frequently. Nachdem hat genommen genitzen. And that's when he would start genitzen. Now, maybe it's from sneeze.
Yeah, we say genossen beim MS when somebody sneezes.
Yeah, so
genossen beim...
yeah, it must be sneezing. Yeah. Oh, it's not the usual verb for usually sneezes. Nissen and genossen. Okay, but maybe this is it. Das ist gewesen a Simen, als hat dem Spruch nicht gesagt umsetzt. Now, this was a sign that he had not recited the incantation in vain. Sie sind eine Ora, hat gesagt mit Sicherheit. It was, in fact, an evil eye, he said with certainty. Chotsch, my Mama is schon gewesen a bissel aufgeklärt, zu lieb der Chakiras vor ihm ihre, hat sie von deswegen euch geglaubt in den Ores. Und jedes Mal, was mein nahe zugekommen Schwesterl ist sich vergangen in Weinen, hat sie mich geschickt zu Rabitsche Scheichet. Even though mother was a little bit aufgeklärt, educated, because of the Chakira books. Chakira is investigation or science,
Yeah.
perhaps, books.
Philosophical.
Investigation.
Nonetheless, she also believed in evil eyes. And any time that the newborn sister, our newborn sister, that's Esther, no, it's a different sister, started crying, she would send me to Reb Itche the Sheikhet. Reb Itche, sprecht ab in ein Ore, Sor Bas Bas Sheva, habe ich gesagt, in ein Atem. Reb Itche, please remove an Enora from Sora, the daughter of Basheva, I would say in one breath. Faratayet von Gichen Leifen, out of breath because of my running. And Faratayet, Fartayan is an unusual word.
I couldn't find, yeah.
Yeah,
What does it mean?
Fartayan usually means to hide or conceal. So,
Yeah, right. But
so
how
I'm not
does it?
sure how that works here.
Yeah.
But,
I,
but
I
it's
found it. I
yeah.
found it breathless.
breathless. Okay.
What are you using? What dictionary, Yankel?
I use Weinfeld.
Me too, but I don't find what you find.
Fartayan, I look it up and I see hide and conceal. So
Yeah,
anyway,
that's what I found. Yeah.
I'm just adding it to my dictionary now
Ah,
because it clearly means out of breath.
Yeah.
okay.
Good. All right. Ich hab die Schliches zu Reb Itche Scheichet stark lieb gehabt. I really loved this embassy when I had to go to Reb Itche. Ich hab gehabt Hanoah zu sehen, wie Reb Itche scharft seine Chalofim. I enjoyed seeing how Reb Itche would sharpen his slaughtering knives. Fleckt euch sein a Berge in verschnitzen Gänsene Feders, was hat genutzt zum Schreiben. He was also a real expert at cutting the goose feathers, which he would then use as quills for writing. Wie mein Vater hat euch geschrieben Chidushim after Teure. Just like my father, he was also writing interpretations, novel interpretations about the Torah. Mehr noch davon habe ich lieb gehabt zu betrachten der Scheuchet kes Eisenkram. Even more, I loved to observe the his wife's, it should be his wife's, yeah, iron shop, ironmongery. Sarah die Scheichete hat gehat akram, voll mit Sägen, Kesslich, Schweckes, Hammers, Schräufen und allerlei andere eiserne Marscheren, von was sie hat verdient am Matmen mit Geld, wie man hat gesagt in Städtel. Sarah, the wife of the Sheikhet, she had a store, and it was full of saws, chests of nails and hammers and screws and all sorts of other iron goods, from which she earned a treasury of money, a lot of money, as they used to say in the town. Ich hab gehabt a große Schwachkeit zu die alle eiserne Sachen, mehr wie als zu die Schweckes. I had what's the English for this? A Schwachkeit.
Weakness.
That's it, a weakness. Thank you. It's hard to switch languages to all of these iron things, and more than anything else to the Schweckes, the nails.
Yeah, machshirim is not good. Machshirim is tools.
Yeah, tools, utensils,
Iron
yes.
tools.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. See,
Für was eigentlich, man hat gedacht, ob dann a Bezeug, mein Schwesterl Sarle, weiß ich nicht. How come, actually, they had to get rid of an evil eye for my little sister Sarah. I'm not sure. In unserer Mashpacha hat keiner Chalila nicht gesündigt mit kein übriger Schönkeit, also als es soll locken Weiber abzuton a Besorg in their Bewunderung. In our family, no one, God forbid, had the sin of being particularly pretty, so that women would looking.
They would be tempted.
Yeah, that would annoy women to do an evil eye as they were looking with wonder at such a person. Aber die Mama meine fliegt mich von deswegen schicken zu Rebitchen, absprechen in Eures, alle Montag und Donnerstag. But mother used to send me nonetheless to Rebitche to incant away evil eyes all the time, literally every Monday and Thursday. Rebitche fliegt mir knepen die Backen und schenken mir a kunzig verschnitzte gänsene Feder. Rebitche, he would give me they don't do this anymore, luckily. He would give me a pinch in the cheeks, and he would actually give me as a gift a cleverly whittled goose feather. Ha, fleckt genitzen stark. Es ist gewinn an Emerson. He would sneeze strongly. That was really an enora. Geh, Yeshua, und wünscht der Mama eine Schleime für ein Kind. Go, little Yeshua, and wish your mother a complete cure for her child. Okay, Yankov.
Okay. Horre fleckt die scheuchertke Brummen mit Kaas. Auf mir, Hagam, ich hab keinmal bei ihr kein fränzlich von dem Schall nicht gerissen. So this Horre I found it as poppycock, rubbish, nonsense. The Sheikhet's wife would boom in anger at me, even though I had never torn a fringe from her shawl. Und zwischen dem Rebitsche Sheichet und mein Vater, was seinen Gewinn die nonste Freund, ist plötzlich ausgebrochen a feierdicke Machleuke. And suddenly between the two, between Reb Itcha and my father, who were the closest of friends, suddenly there an argument, a stormy argument broke out. Es ist gewinn bei a bris, auf welcher Reb Itcha hat mal gewinn a Kind. Und mein Vater, der Sandik, hat bemerkt, als Reb Itches alte Hand zittert mit dem Messer. It happened at a bris, at a circumcision, at which Reb Itcha was the mole of the child. He did the circumcision of the child. And my father, the Sandik, the one who held the baby, noticed that Reb Itcha's old hand was trembling with as he held the knife. A Sheichet Leuten din darf haben a feste Hand. Ob der Chalef zittert bei der Schritte, wird die geschochtene Behema oder das Auftreffen. A Sheichet, according to the law, needed to have a very firm hand. If the slaughtering knife trembled at the time of the slaughtering, the slaughtered animal or the bird, the fowl, became treif. Mein Vater hat darüber gerufen Reb Itchen zu sich und auf sehr an edlen Eufen ihm gelost wissen, als sein Hand zittert schon von Altkeit und als darf aufhören schächten. So my father, for this reason, called Reb Itcher to him in a very refined manner and gave him to understand that his hand was trembling from because of age, and that he, for that reason, he should stop being a shochet, stop the slaughtering.
Let me interrupt for just a sec. I think I figured out what that Genitzen is. It's Genitzen, and it's to yawn. So he would yawn, and that's his mouth would be very wide. He would say "ha," and that was the sign that the Upsprechen had worked. So we've been misreading it. It's not Genitzen, it's Genitzen.
Okay.
Could it
Good,
have more
thank you.
than one? Could it have more than one meaning? Because we were saying so many. You know,
All sorts of possibilities, but it's the simplest, I think, just to say that it's a strange spelling for Genitzen.
Can you say it again?
Yeah, I think it's just a misspelling or an unusual spelling of the word genitz. A genitz is a yawn, and genitzt, hat gegenitzt, git a genitz.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Reb Itcher, tut nicht stellen in Sakone an Ede Iden, und sich allein hat der Tate gesagt, verschämt. Reb Itcher, you should not place a whole community of Jews in danger, and yourself included. My father said to him in embarrassment, "This is cholila a chashash von treifa." It's, heaven forbid, a fear of being treif. Dazu hat Weib, danken Gott, a Gewölb von was sie zieht Parnosse bekovet. And in addition, your wife, thank God, has a shop, a stall, from which she draws a good living. Eure Kinder seinen ausgegeben. Your children are already married off. Zu was darft ihr sich einstellen, leben? So for what, why should you therefore risk your life? Reb Itcher is geworden ungezündet. Reb Itcher became enraged. Rov, mein Hand ist stark wie bei einem jungen Mann, und ich will nicht weglegen die Schritte, hat gesagt, zornig. Rabbi, my hand is as strong as a young man's hand, and I will not stop being a shochet. He said furiously, wenn ich wollte nicht gewinn sicher, wollte ich nicht eingestellt mein Neshama. If I wasn't so certain, I would never risk my soul on this matter. Wie viel der Tate hat nicht probiert einteilen mit dem Scheuchet, hat bei ihm nicht gekannt peilen, wegzulegen die Schritte. However much my father tried to reason with the shochet, he was unable to see to it that he would stop being a shochet. Also wie der Tate meiner hat gewusst, als das geht in Jüdischkeit, hat verbeugen sein Freundschaft und Schabbos bei Tag beim Lernen ausgerufen für die Balabatim, als zu lieb dem, was Reb Itches Hand zittert, assert sein Schritter. Und wer es wird essen von der Schritter seiner, wird es sein, wie wollt gegessen Treffer und eine Weile. And because my father knew what the law was in Yiddishkeit, he curbed his friendship with Rabbi Itcha, and Shabbos morning, when they were reading the Torah, he called out to all the Balabatim as that because of the fact that Rabbi Itcha's hand was trembling, that he forbade his shchita, and whoever would eat from his shchita, it would be as if he had eaten treif and even an animal that had not been killed by means of shchita. Gleich der Ruf is Reb Itcha ongeton a talus, und in Streimel a Ruf auf ein Belmer und gesagt. So immediately after this, Reb Itcha put on, or he took off, I'm not sure, his talus.
Put on.
Perhaps it's put on his talus. But why wouldn't he have been wearing his talus during the davening?
It says ongeton, that means while okay. I think while wearing a talus. That's right. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, okay. So while wearing his talus and his shtreimel, he came up onto the bima, and he said, Yidden, Rov macht auf mir a sheker bilbul. People, the rabbi has made a false accusation about me. Ich bin a lamden und a yore shamayim. Ken paskenen scheiles wie der Rov. Und a junger Mann wird nicht asseren die Schritte mir, a genitten alten Scheuchet. So, I am a learned man and a person who very pious, fears heaven, and I can decide on religious questions in the same way as the rabbi can. And a young man cannot forbid my shchita, because I am a very experienced old shochet. In Besmedrish is geworden cheshech. A darkness descended on the Bet Medrash, the study house. Gleich haben sich geschaffen zwei Zdodim. Immediately, two opposing sides emerged. Alle haben geschrien. Everybody was shouting. Hecher von alle hat geschrien von der Weiberschul Sora die Sheichetcha. And louder than everyone, the Sheichet's wife, Sora, was shouting from the women's gallery. Jeden, men vergisst Blut Reb Itche Sreichet. People, you're spilling the blood of Itche the Sheichet. Hat sie gewaldevet. Geles nicht erlosen. So this is what she shrieked. I won't allow it. I won't tolerate it. Welten einreißen. I'll turn the world upside down. Die Himmeln spalten. I'll split the heavens. Mein Mutter hat mit kein ein Wort sich nicht angerufen und ist gleich weg heim, gedei nicht zuzusehen die Machleuke in Beschmedres. So my mother, who didn't say a single word, she didn't say a single word, and she immediately left and went home so that she shouldn't witness this argument in the study house. Das Feuer hat gebrannt. The fire raged. In unser Stub seinen Geseder gewinn versammelt Balabatim. In our house, there were always gathered householders, the important people of the town. Menschen haben abgetrogen Rechiles gebracht, Potaten. It's difficult to read that, the three tesim, one after the other.
Isn't it a mistake, don't you think?
Maybe it's
there's no other word like this in Yiddish or Hebrew.
Yeah, with three teses, I've never seen such a thing. I understood it as letters. So people brought gossip, rumors, and they brought letters as well. Die Katzovim haben sich herumgedreht in sehr verfeste Kapottes und geschrien, als sie wollen Bedalles under Schritte. The butchers were hung around in their greasy capotas, and they shouted that they were being impoverished without any Schritte in the town. Men hat abgehalten Asefes, Versammlungen, and they had meetings and get-togethers. Sarah, die Scheuchetke, pflegt allemal sich beweisen vor der Tür, vor die Fenster und warfen mit die Hand, schreien und schelten und drohen. So Sarah, the Shochet's wife, would always appear at the door, near, in front of the windows, and she would wave her hands and she would shout and curse and threaten. Sie hat beschuldigt mein Vater, als will einander scheuchet. So she accused my father that he wanted to have a different scheuchet. Weil ein neuer scheuchet wird ihm geben Geld für übergeben jenem die Schritte. Because the reason why he wanted a new shochet, because that shochet would give him money for appointing a new shochet. Mein Vater ist gestanden hilflos, wie ein Kind, herrendig die Bilbulim. My father stood helpless like a child as he heard these libels. Eden, ich sag euch, Bon Tzedek.
It's Behen Tzedek. Behen Tzedek, that is strictly Hebrew.
Okay.
Hen is like the word Ken in Hebrew. Yes. Hen Tzedek means I am swearing. I am telling you swearingly.
Yeah, on my honor.
Right. And
on my honor, yeah.
Naborsky has Behen Sidki, which is the same
that's
thing.
it.
Yeah,
That's another. It's another use of it, but that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
Naborsky knows.
ich sage euch Behen Tzedek, als ich hab Cholile nicht dabei kein schlechter Kavone, nur ich will bloß verhitten jeden von Trefes, hat geteinet. So Eden, on my honor, I say that I do not have, heaven forbid, any bad intentions. I simply want to prevent Yidden from eating from Trefus. He claimed. Sollen drei Rabbonim sehen, Reb Itches Scheuchets Hand, und sollen sie sagen, sie sein rechter Hand zittert nicht beim Schechten. Let 3 rabbis come and observe Reb Itches, the Shoichet's hands, and let them decide whether his right hand is trembling during the process of Shechten. Sarah die Shoichetke hat geworfen mit ihrer Hand, gedroht und gescholten mit Vista Kololas. So Sarah, the Shoichet's wife, waved her hands and threatened and cursed with wild curses. Geller Ramoi hat sie gerufen, mein Vater, zu lieb der reutlicher Bord seiner. You blonde swindler, she called out to my father because of his reddish beard. Okay. Rochel?
Ja. All right. Mein Mutter hat sich behalten in der Winkele, nicht zuzusehen die Herpe. My mother hid in a corner in order not to witness this shameful scene.
Charpa.
Charpa is shameful.
Yeah.
Charpa and busha. It's this shameful, embarrassing situation. Charpa, in order not to witness this embarrassment.
Right, and I think the vowel is charpa.
Okay. I must charge my computer. It will take me a second. My computer will essen. Yeah. Here, okay.
Mit a guten Appetit.
Dank. Okay. Sore, die Scheuchetke, ist weg in etliche schränische Städtlach, wo es haben gewohnt ihre ausgegebene Sinn, und sie hat sie alle gebracht, kein Ländchen, sie sollen sich annehmen für sehr Vater. So sorry, the wife of the slaughterer, he went to a few neighboring towns where her married sons were living, and she brought all of them to luncheon. They should defend, they should take on defending their father. Die sehen jeden mit pechschwarze Bärd, haben Schabes fahren lehnen, meakev gewinn die Kriya und gehalten Drosches für sehr Vater. So the sons, Jews with pitch black beards, on Shabbos before reading, I believe before reading the Torah, they try to stop the reading and to give sermons, lectures for their father. Beschuldigen dem Rov in Machen Bilbulim, accusing the rabbi of making confusions, of saying nonsense, basically.
A bilbul is a slander.
Bilbul is a slander in Yiddish?
Yeah.
Okay. So in Hebrew, it's a confusion. That's no, thank you.
Yeah, it's slander.
Yeah, slander, okay. Einer von die scheuchetische Sinn, a schwarzer Jid mit der Belme auf den Oig, was zu lieb dem hat man ihm gerufen Jankel Blem, hat sich so zekocht auf mein Vater, als hat ihm offen beschuldigt, in nehmen Geld von der Scheuchet. Wenn man hat zugesagt, die Schritte. So one of the shochtische Sinn, the son, one of the sons of the slaughterer, a dark Jew with a cataract on his eye, who, because of which was called Yankel the Cataract. He got so heated up, angry at my father, that he is the, and so he blamed him of taking money, bribe money from a slaughterer to whom he promised this position of a slaughterer. Mein Vater hat gesagt beim Schulchan, auf welchem die Teure ist gelegen, als das ist a Sheker. My father said, by the table on which the Torah was lying, that this is a lie. Wenn Yankel Blem hat geworfen weiter dicke Bilbulim, hat mein Vater ihm gesagt, als redt Azus. When Yankel the Cataract continued further with further slanders, my father told him that he is he has a nerve, he has a chutzpah, and a nerve to talk like that. Master Shegets, he behaves like a goy. Der zekochter Jid mit der Belme auf ein Oig oder Vorgeton. So this angry Jew with the cataract on his eye burst out with saying, Bistalein Ashegets, you yourself are a goy. He says it to the rabbi.
In the
You
informal, which is very impolite.
Very, yeah.
He's using
This
the
is,
impolite form.
oh yeah. This is a tragic comic. The whole scene here. This is. Ich hab a Zittergeton, ehrendig das Wort auf mein Tacken dem Rauf. I started shaking, hearing such words about my father, the rabbi. Zusammen mit mir hat Zittergeton die ganze Ede. Together with me, the whole congregation was shaking. Moishe Mendel Katzev, was hat sich gerieben zwischen Chassidim und getrogen an lesene Kapotte, hat vergessen und sein schön Jiddischkeit und hat sich gelost mit gebellte Fäusten zu Bellemer. Gerät zu Dorisen dem Jankel Blem Verbeleidigung dem Rov. So this is what's happening in Shul by the Torah. So Moshe Mendel, the butcher, who was associating with Hasidim, even though he was a Katzer, and he was wearing a satin capote like a Chassid. He forgot he forgot his nice Jewish his like Hasidic behavior, his nice Hasidic behavior, and he allowed himself to go to the man with the cataract with his fists. Now, what is Gebalte?
Clenched fists.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
When you clench your hand, it's a fist.
Yeah. Yeah. So Gebelt Fäusten zu Berlemer, gerät zu Dorisen dem Jankel Blame verbaledigen dem. He was ready to trample Dorison is a Hebrew to walk over to actually to trample the Yankel blame the Yankel cataract for insulting the rabbi. Memesanem, kill him. Rock und Lenden zerbrechen. Break his back.
Beat him up.
What did you say?
Beat him up.
Yeah, I found break his back and beat him up both. That's what, the dictionary said, yeah. Oben Proste ihn geschrien, okay, beat him up. The simple Jews were yelling, and that's the Proste maybe not Hasidic. The meaning is not Hasidic Jews, non-Hasidic. Oi. Moshe Mendel wollte dem Jankel Blem gewinn zerrissen mit seine gesunde reute Hand, was haben sich wie Fremde herausgerissen von die chassidische verklessene Arbel, aber mein Vater hat ihm abgehalten. Reb Moshe Mendel, es ist Schabes, hat gerufen. Die Teure liegt auf dem Schulchan. Moshe Mendel would have torn up the cataract guy with his healthy red hands, that uh, that came out of the satin sleeves, satin Hasidic sleeves. But my father stopped him. That's why he was going to attack him. Hey, Moshe Mendel, it's Shabbos now. He was saying the Torah is lying here on the table. Okay. Vorher.
Kein Mitzares hat abgehalten, dem zerjuscheten Jeden. In wem der Katzev hat wacht durch alle chassidische Malbuschen. With difficulty, he finally managed to hold back the angered Jew, unruly, thank you, a fellow, in whom the butcher was awakening through all of his Hasidic clothing. So underneath the Hasidic clothing, there was, after all, a very strong man, the butcher. He needed to be held back. Yeah, I'm just looking up Yushev here in my own dictionary, unsuccessfully. Oh, here, Yusha is to be agitated. To be agitated. Okay, so Yusha is angry.
I found infuriated.
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ja. Demselben Shabbos nachts, wenn der Tate ist gesessen beim Tisch und gesagt, Vayitein loch nach Havdalah, seien die Scheiben plötzlich ausgebrochen geworden mit der Brask und ein Stein ist reingefallen in Stub. That same Saturday night, when Father was sitting at the table and he was reciting Vayitein lecha, and he will give you, which is one of the brachas after Havdalah, the window pane suddenly was broken with a crash, and a stone fell into the room. Der Tate, der Schrockner, hat gemurmelt. Father, in fear, murmured, Kein Sach wird mich nicht abhalten von verhitten jeden von Trefes. There's nothing that is going to keep me from protecting Jews from eating treif. In Stettel hat sich getan chayshech. A blackness fell upon the town.
I found that all hell broke loose.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice idiomatic English, yes.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah,
Jeden
okay.
Jeden haben nicht gehandelt, nicht gearbeitet, noch geseder gerett, wegen Rav und Shechet. People were no longer doing buying and selling. They weren't working. They were just continually talking about the rabbi and the Shechet. Die Sine zu der Shechetke, welche man hat allemal gehalten für eine Ohrnitze, a Schilterke, hat sich noch mehr zerflammt, zu lieb der Wister Bachleuke, was sie hat angeheuben. The enmity against the Sheichet's wife, whom they always considered someone who was casting evil eyes and someone who would curse a lot. That enmity flamed even more because of the wild controversy that she had begun. Jeden haben gesagt, als das hat sie angerät ihr Mann zu der Machleuke, als das hat sie reingeworfen Steiner zu uns in Haus. People were saying that it was she who had convinced her husband to carry on this dispute. And it was she who had thrown stones into our house. Weiber haben genommen der Erzählen Meises as Sarah die Scheuchetke is a Machashefa, and as he treibt Kishef. Women were beginning to tell stories that Sarah, the Sheichet's wife, was a witch and that she was working magic. Bald haben sich gefunden Jahre Edestes, was haben sich geschworen mit alle Schwurs, wie sie haben allein gesehen, wie die alte Sora porket sich herum mit gepegerte Kronen und Kätz, was liegen bei ihr auf dem Dach von der Chorver Kammer. So soon one could find your Adistus. And Adis is a witness. Adis is female witnesses. But what is
Yeah,
your
but
Adis?
what is a yo? I didn't
It
find
might be misprint for vor, truth
Can you say it again?
tellers. Vor, it could be, as a misprint, but I don't otherwise know what that could be.
Vo, like,
In der vor, truthfully.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
some sort of witnesses who swore with all sorts of oaths that they themselves had seen the old Sarah busying herself with carcasses of crows and cats that are lying on her roof, the roof of an office, in ruins, a building in ruins. Und als sie sagt dabei allerlei Sprüchen und kischift mit die Beiner von die Pgorim, and that she is meanwhile speaking incantations and is working magic with the bones of the dead animals. Die Weiber haben im Ganzen kein Liegen nicht gesagt. Now, these women were actually altogether not speaking a lie. Die Scheichet gefleckt op Reineken die Kamer ihre von Pgorim. The Sheichet's wife used to clean out her office from the dead animals, was meer jingelig vlekken een ruitwerfen auf den Dach von der Kammer, that we, the little boys, used to throw onto the roof of her office building. Die Kammer ihre is given a churve, and it's true, her office was a falling down building, in welcher es seinen gestanden Maschinen und gerostet, in which there were sitting machines that were just rusting. Again, it's an iron shop. Die Scheichetke, was hat geführt an Eisenkram, hat mit der Zeit zurück gehad sich der Tracht zum Gedank, als sie kann verdienen Geld bei a Wegstellen einer Maschine, was soll mangeln oder ausgleichen wäsch, für Balla Abostis. Also, als die Weiber sollen nicht dürfen das tun mit die Hand. The Sheichet's wife, who did run this iron shop, she had a while back had a thought. Had she come up to the thought that maybe she can earn some money by setting up a machine which would mangle. It's called a mangle, and my grandmother talked about having a mangle in her youth. It's a device for drying clothes by putting it through rollers.
Pressing.
It's a press. It's a rolling press. Yeah, that you could set up a mangle to straighten or to ausgleichen, to smooth out the laundry for the women, so that they would not have to do it by hand. Sie hat der Reber herabgebracht von Warsche as a mangle, and so she had brought in from Warsaw such a mangle, machinatia, mit Räder und Rädlach. It was a sort of machine with wheels and little wheels. Wheels, yeah, and rollers, I think. Sie hat sie reingestellt in an alter Kammer und gewahrt auf Parnassus. She put it all in an old office building, and she was waiting for income. Aber die Lenschiner Weiber haben kein Geschick nicht gehabt, auszugeben Geld umsist und besser gemangelt sehr wäsch mit a gekarbeten Wallach. But the women of Lenshin, they had no desire to hand out money for no good reason. They would prefer to press their laundry with a gekarbten Wallach. A Wallach would be something, Valgaren is to roll. A Wallach, I'm not sure.
Mm.
And
Gekarpeten I found as a ribbed board, perhaps.
it could be notched or indented uh, um, or curled Wallach. And my guess is that a Wallach is like a Valgerholz, but I'm not sure.
Mm.
I think a washboard, the
Uh,
old-fashioned washboard.
It could be, but the purpose here is to manglen. It's not to wash, but to straighten, to press.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but that they did that as well. I think that they used that to, to beat the laundry and then probably, press the water out. That's what the mangler does.
Yeah,
We had one when I was a kid.
Yeah, the Polish word Walek means roller. I just looked it up. So it's good to have a Polish dictionary to hand. So it's a roller. Wie man hat es damit getan, as they had always done. So they didn't need her newfangled invention. Die Maschinen haben gerostet. So these machines, they just fell to rust. Die Räderjüngler haben genommen Warfen auf einem flachen Dach von der alten Kammer, wo nur ein Stein, wo nur ein gepegerter Kroh oder ein Katz. So the young lads would start to throw onto the flat roof of this old building, this old office building, sometimes a stone, sometimes a dead crow, or a cat. Die Schreichetke like Shilton mit Teute Klolles, die English, verwarfen Pegeris auf her Kammer. The Sheichet's wife would curse with deathly curses these boys for throwing these corpses onto the Kammer, onto the roof of the building. Sie hat euch gedroht mit die dare bräune Hand, gekrimmt, geretzt sich allein. She also threatened with her thin brown hands, and she made faces, and she spoke to herself. She muttered. Davon haben die Weiber ausgeteitscht, als die Alte hat zu tun mit die Schädim und Ruches. Kischift mit Beiner und Pegorim, mit welcher sie will bringen am Gefa auf den Städtel. And that's why the women had ausgeteitscht, had interpreted or explained to themselves.
Yeah.
Or derived that
good memory, yeah.
That this old woman was dealing with spirits and devils. She was working magic with bones of these corpses. And she wants to bring a magefa,
epidemic.
An epidemic, exactly, on the town. Von die Weiber is es übergegangen zu the Goyes. And from the Jewish women, it was transmitted over to the non-Jewish women. Bald haben sich verspreit klangen, als Sora die Scheuchetke verkischt ki, was Herren sich aufzumelken. It soon became spread about, the klangen, the noises, that Sarah, the Shechet's wife, was working magic against cows, which are stopping giving milk. Farschelt Kinder, sie sollen kein Eier nicht legen. She was cursing hens, they would stop laying eggs. Und noch solche Sachen and such like problems. Etliche Goye seien viele befallen die Alte, und sie ungeschlagen davor. Some of the non-Jewish women even attacked the old woman and beat her up because of this. Moshe Mendel Katzev hat geschworen bei Borden Peis, als hat allein gesehen, wie die alte Sore ist geritten auf a Besem. Moshe Mendel, the butcher, he swore by his beard and sidelocks that he himself had seen the old Sarah riding on a broomstick or a broom.
which means she is a witch.
Of course, yeah. Wenn mit Shabbos Nacht vor Avdolle vorbeigegangen das Feld, hat gesehen, wie Sora die Scheuchetke kleibt Kreiterzer von der Erde. When he was Saturday before nightfall, before Havdalah, passing a field, he saw that Sora, the Sheichet's wife, was collecting herbs from the ground, which sometimes, well, it's something you shouldn't be doing on Shabbos. Anyway, mitamol hat sie sich gar aufgesetzt, reitendig auf a Besem, und weggeflogen in der Luften. And suddenly she sat herself to ride on a broom, and she flew off into the sky. Wieviel mein Mutter hat nicht probiert, aus lachendem Jeden für sein Meise mit der fliehendicke Scheichetke. No matter how much my mother tried to laugh off this story that the fellow gave of his of the flying Sheichet's wife, hat es nicht geholfen. It didn't help. Der Jid hat geteinet, als soll solche sein mit die eigenen Mashiachen, wie hat gesehen, die Sheichetke fliehen auf den Besem. The fellow swore that he geteinet. What's a good translation here? It's not swore.
He argued.
He argued, that's it.
He
stated, yeah, that he should be so worthy with his own eyes to see the Messiah as he had actually seen the Sheichet's wife flying on a broomstick. In Stettel hat man genommen Zittern, vorbei zu gehen, die Korba Nacht. In the little town, people started to tremble, not wanting to go past the fallen down building towards evening. Weiber haben angetan Fartiger für Segula. Women started wearing aprons as a charm. And in fact, this was typical, that women would wear aprons, sometimes both in front and in back, to avoid being attacked by demons at night. Jüngler haben gehalten die Tzitzis in die Hand. The boys would hold their ritual fringes in their hands. Und gerufen dreimal hin und zurück, and they would call out 3 times here and there. Machashefa lo sichaya, lo sichaya, lo sichaya machashefa, machashefa sichaya lo. They would say it 3 times in different order. You should not allow a witch to live. Not should you allow a witch. No, a witch to live not. Kind of as a charm against witchcraft. Good. Yankov, man hat noch etliche Minuten.
Okay, right, it's on the screen. Okay, Schochentes haben mir angesagt mit dem harben Wort, ich soll Cholile nicht vorbeigehen der Scheuchetkes Häus, weil zu lieb ihr Sinne auf mein Vater, können sie mir noch a Kischef anton und verziehen mir a Belma auf ein Eug, wie es hat ihr Sohn Jankel blem. So the neighbors informed me with harsh words that I shouldn't, Cholila, go walk past the Sheichet's wife's house because of her hatred for my father. She could cast a spell on me and cause me to have a cataract on an eye, just like her son Yankel with a cataract. Noch etliche Tag hat sich Yankel Blem bewiesen auf der Schwell von unser Stub. A few days later, Yankel the cataract appeared on the threshold of our house. On ein Wort hat herabgenommen die Stiefel von die Fies und geblieben in die Socken, wie wollt gewähner Koyen und gegrät zu sich durchnen. So without a word, he took off his boots from his feet and he remained standing in his socks as if he had been a Cohen who was about to duchen, about to bless the congregation. Mit a gebeugenem Kopf, gehendig auf die Spitzsocken, ist zugegangen zu meinem Vater und gesagt. So with a bowed head, walking on the tiptoes in his socks, he approached my father and he said, Rov, ich bitte euch mechile fahren bisoyen, was ich hab euch angetan fahren Ede Eden. Rabbi, I ask forgiveness from you for the shame that I brought about for you in front of the congregation of Jews. Der Tate ist rot geworden und ausgestreckt dem Jid a Hand. My father blushed. He went red, and he stretched out his hand to the man. Ich gedenk noch bis heint dem Jids Socken, was seinen Gewinn ausgerissen bei die Finger und bei die Piates. I still remembered until today this man's socks, which were worn out at the toes and at the heels. Nachdem hat sich die Machleuke abgestellt. After this, the argument, the disagreement stopped. Reb Itcher hat weggelegt die Chalofim in sein Schädel auf ewig. Reb Itcher put aside his slaughtering knives in their case forever. Also hat euch aufgehört, mal sein Kinder. And in the same way, he stopped circumcising boys. Mein Vater ist geworden zurückfreund mit Reb Itchen, aber die früher dicke Freundschaft ist schon mehr nicht zurückgekommen. My father once again became befriended Reb Itcher, but their previous friendship was no longer existed, no longer came back. Etwas hat gefehlt in ihr. So there was something missing in their friendship. Bloß die Scheuchetke hat nicht gekannt vergessen mein Vater die Avla. Only the Shochet's wife could not forget the wrong that my father had done. Sie fleckt dem Taten noch als rufen hinter die Augen Gelle Ramai. She still called my father behind his back that blonde swindler. Wenn meine Mutter hat mit ein Jahr später geboren noch ein Mädel auf Euchareuz und hat das Kind hat wiedergenommen weinen, Mistome zu lieb dem, was die Mama hat nicht gehabt genug Milch zu säugen ist, hab ich wiedergenommen gehen zu Reb Itchen. Soll absprechen ein Horus, mein jüngste Schwester. So when my mother, a year later, bore another little girl, also a redhead, and this child also began to cry, perhaps because of the fact that my mother didn't have enough milk to nurse her with. I once again began to go to Reb Itcha that he should remove the anhoras from my youngest little sister. Reb Itcha hat gesucht Sprüchen, gegenetzt und geschickt Bruches der Mammen, als ihr Kind soll haben a Refuah Shleima. So Reb Itcha once again
Recited charms.
sorry,
Recited charms.
recited
Yeah, charms. Sprüchen.
chants. Okay, that and yawned
Mhm.
and sent blessings to my mother that the child should have a complete recovery. Aber die Scheichetke hat gebrennt meine Tritt und nicht aufgehört worden. But the Sheichet's wife gebrennt meine Fiss. She not sure how to translate this. She burned my steps.
My footsteps,
She,
yeah. Followed me angrily, maybe.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And she didn't stop grumbling. Zu schächten Tiger nicht, aber auszreißen sich das Mäul bei ein Horus Tiger, hat sie gebrummt. So he's not good enough to be a sheikhet, but to tear out his, to blow his mouth with getting rid of anhoras, that he's good for. She grumbled.